What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content related to growing your app downloads. And more importantly, in the topic of this conversation, it's all about your revenues and some of the best practices to increase your revenues. Now, we've talked about a lot of case studies. If you're new here, go check out this case study, 4x revenues with just 15 downloads a day. Just literally YouTube that, and you'll find that YouTube live we did with a developer who just watched our content and started to really optimize his paywall and increase his revenues from $250 a month to $1,000 a month. Didn't grow downloads. We have another case study, 17x downloads with just 17x revenues from $1 a day to $17 a day. Now, ultimately, he's gone on to even more a day with just 50 downloads. Again, not growing downloads, but optimizing your product and optimizing the also most important paywall. And so when I wanted to talk about paywall and in particular about subscription-based apps, I reached out to this guy because we're actually using this particular platform for one of our apps. His name is Vitaly Davidov. He is the CEO and founder of Adapty.io. And I'll put up this, but Adapty.io, go check them out. They're going to really help you boost your in-app subscriptions, optimize your paywalls. I think Vitaly design your paywalls. And one of the things I like that we use in our apps, we were able to change our paywall like that. No new build, no nothing. I was like, just change some of the messaging here. We're able to do that. And so Adapty.io is the platform that we personally use, but go check them out once again. Vitaly, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah. Hey, Steve. Nice to meet you. And thank you for inviting me for this podcast, for this live stream. So happy to be here and happy to share my ideas and knowledge about optimizing paywalls.
Yeah, we got similar friends. Abby, I know Mike from there, that he now is running his own company. And then Social Kit, we work with these guys too. So I see familiar.
Abby is a pretty big company. They have like 1,200 employees. And Watch, our client, was recently acquired by Pinterest. So these are pretty big names, I would say.
Yeah. Cool, man. Hey, so I want to say hi to a few people before we get started. Adrian, what's happening? This will be interesting, super useful. We got Murat is here. Samuel, how's it going? Miguel, oh my God. Man, you attract some people. Austin, what's happening, brother? Is Steve hiding? I am trying to hide. Noah, what's up, dude? And then Matthew. Austin again. Hey, Rich is here. All right, Rich.
All right.
Cool. All right, let's get it started. So let's start with something generic, broad, overreaching for those who might be to paywall optimization. What are some of the best practices that you've seen work on your end?
So if we talk about paywall optimization, I guess what's the most important is to find the one that works for you. This is the most important thing. And unfortunately, there is no a single silver bullet that works for each application. And the most crucial thing is how fast and effectively you can iterate over your business ideas for your paywalls. And that's actually why we developed this product, is help you run and iterate over your paywall ideas as fast as you can. Because for some apps and for some categories and verticals, free trial works very well. And for some apps, for some verticals, lifetime works very well. So, you just need to test it. But there are some common things that you should keep in mind, is that you probably should start with a hard paywall rather than a soft paywall. Do you know what's the difference here?
No, tell me.
Yeah, so there are two different paywall styles in your app. So the first one is where you allow user to use your freemium version of your app. It's called the soft paywall. So usually it has this X button where you can close the paywall, rather than in a hard paywall version, you don't have an option to go into the app without activating a free trial or subscribing, although it's dramatically reduce the conversion rate for sure. But in some apps it can work, and that's definitely a thing we suggest you to get started.
Really?
Also,
I want to hit on that. And sorry, I want to hit on that a little bit more.
Yeah.
You say start with a hard paywall.
Yeah.
So you're a brand new app, you start with a hard paywall, meaning I can't access the app until you give me money or you sign up for a trial, but you got to give me something that you show that you're committed. you say that?
Yeah.
Why?
So my idea is that, try to tune and optimize your products for ones who are ready to pay for this. It's like you should start really small and find your super narrow audience. If some, like let's say even 100 or 50 people are ready to pay you from day zero, you probably have enough feedback to optimize your product, and then you start really slow and really dense audience, and then you just grow and make it broader. So I would do like the hardest paywall that's possible.
Oh, I love it. Okay, what was next before I interrupted?
It's counterintuitive a little bit, because you're a brand new app, you want to give some user free access, to get some analytics. But the reality is that probably you should identify clients and people who are ready to pay to you, and maybe talk to them in like via Zoom or something like that. So you'll get just much more feedback than taking analytics into Amplitude, all these things.
Yeah, that's interesting because, okay, one of the apps that we are using Adapty for, it is a hard paywall, and we're seeing through our analytics a 20% conversion rate. So pretty decent. And then 8%. So that was just trial activation, and then 8% to actual subscription. So about 35%.
That's a good metric.
Yeah, right? Like I've been super impressed. And dude, I was afraid of doing the hard paywall, and it was just, we have partners in this, and I was like, I'm not sure about this, and they were like, oh well, we did it already. I'm like, okay, let's just see how it goes. It's amazing. So I'm interested that you said that first, man. I love it. And a lot of things that we see are counterintuitive to what you really think, like having a paywall during the onboarding process, and so things like that. All right, continue, please. I'm excited. You got me pumped up already. I don't need this drink.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. Let's go.
What's also kind of important is how you, you should have multiple places inside your app where you sell, and usually the must-have place is an onboarding. So you must place a paywall somewhere in onboarding, because this is like the most convertible place in the whole application. And usually what we see is that 80% of all purchases and subscriptions are made during these first few screens. And if you don't have, it's crazy. And if you don't have a paywall on your onboarding, this is a number one must-have thing. Even, don't think about soft, hard paywalls. Just the first thing you have to do is place the paywall in onboarding. That's quite important, man. And then a few screens before your onboardings, before your paywalls, are also quite important. So some of our customers, they run A/B testing not only for paywall screens like text, images, number of products, pricing, etc., but they also run tests for onboardings, like which screens you present, how they organized, which questions you ask during these onboarding steps. This is also quite important. So you definitely should also do this. And a lot of mobile developers, they hardly underprice their app. So if you don't make enough money in your application, just try to increase price like 20% up or something like that, and measure conversion rate.
I love it. Is there anything else? I just came on just to give it a different look and feel, because I was like, I really agree with this underpricing thing. But was there anything else you can cover? Because I want to go into some of the details of what you just mentioned too.
There's interesting thing about whether you should have a native paywall or it can be a web-based paywall, with the web-based technologies like in browser paywall. It's like a different topic, and we can talk about it a little bit later if you know the difference. So like you can build a paywall via native components or via web components. So it's also an interesting topic, but we can postpone it a little bit later.
Okay, let's do that for part 2. Let's give it a little tease. All right, onboarding the A/B. Is that something that we can do within Adapty? The A/B testing, the onboarding screens.
Yeah, this is why Adapty exists, actually. So what our product can help you with is you integrate the SDK, which helps you to quickly deploy in-app purchases, like in-app monetization into your product. And then within admin panel or dashboard, you can configure your A/B testing experiments. And the coolest thing is that you don't need a new app releases for it. This is super nice. So what our clients do is they integrate our SDK, and then marketers can do their job directly without developers. So like they experiment with pricing, they experiment with onboardings, creatives, and texts. And that's why Adapt exists, simply.
Nice. Okay. Really? I thought you guys were just more like optimizing paywalls, but it was like, hey, the entire experience. So onboarding,
Yeah,
super to the paywall anyways. So just like everything for related to your subscriptions too.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Hey, I want to say a couple of things too from the comments. Make sure they know. Matthew says, thank you for your video on in-app reviews. I received 6 5-star reviews and 1 4-star since I put that in. Congratulations, Matthew. So all I said, Vitaly, was show the default review prompt, right? And so some clients are like, I want reviews versus like just ratings. What is your philosophy on this? One client of ours, I was like, show the review prompt. Show the review prompt. He's like, no, I want to take them to the app store so that they actually write written reviews. I personally don't care because I haven't seen written reviews make a huge difference. It did in 2015 when if you had keywords with written reviews, it actually helped your keyword rankings. But these days, I feel like it's not as important. What are your thoughts on reviews and ratings?
Well, yeah, I totally agree. If you want to have more ratings, just add review prompt at the beginning of your application. You will get a lot of them. So it's like the only thing is that you probably should have like 5-star reviews or like 4-star reviews, and you should be ready for more like a negative reviews if you do this. So
yeah,
like.
Yeah, totally helpful. Vitaly, sorry I couldn't meet up with you, Vitaly. Sorry. And congratulations on your Apple Design finalists. You got Apple Design finalists, man. It was really cool. Ricardo is here. What's happening, Ricardo? And then Rich, good friend of mine in the UK, he was saying asking questions during the onboarding has really helped with his conversions. And then he said, finding out what they like. He has a crosswords app, finding out what they like about crosswords, the topics they enjoy playing, and how much they have. So, Rich, I'm curious to know what you're doing with that data. Or is it just having, and Vitaly, maybe you know this, but is it just having that user engage with your app, rather than swiping, just having them engage, say, what are you here for? Is that what's interesting when you're asking questions?
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. And, it's just a correlation between these questions and a positive purchase. So it's like if you have an option adding some questionnaire during your onboarding, this will definitely help you. Again, some apps have like 20 questions, before you see a paywall, and they do this for purpose. So it's not just, for fun. And the cool thing that you can use answers from these questions and personalize your paywall on the fly. That's also really cool.
Yeah, we have a case study with Super Mama. I think it was called Super Mama or Super Babe. But anyway, I think it's Super Mama. Anyways, they said they personalized it, asked some questions. And even the app that I'm referring to where we use Adaptive, we do ask for questions like, what are you here for? Are you here for this or this or that? I don't want to get into details of the app because I have a partner. But anyways, we do that too. And, 20%. So I think just having some input might be great. And the Super Mama, what they do is like, I said, I'm here for like to figure out scheduling. It's like a baby tracker, for feeding. And so I was like, baby, and they use that input in on the headline of their paywall. So I really like that too.
The interesting thing here is that our product is designed to help you with optimizing the first step in your funnel, like activation of free trials or subscriptions, but we don't guarantee a long-term subscription retention, right? So in any case, even if you optimize your first steps, you have to think about the long-term value of your product, the long-term value of your retention, etc. That's where your product quality takes the role.
Yeah. I think what is interesting when I'm talking to app developers, to your point about underpricing your app. Now, when I talked to a couple of different ones yesterday, millions of downloads, like millions of organic downloads a month. And I'm like, what? And then it's like the lifetime value of a user is what really makes a huge difference. So you take into account churn and all that stuff. And if you want to do simple calculations, you can just do what people are mostly buying, average order size, right? What's that split? It's 80 yearly, 20 monthly. You can figure out what's your average order size. And that's the way I like to do it, just because I like to keep it simple math. That's all I can calculate. But I think that's what people have to think about is like, if you want to double your business, you got to think about how much each customer is paying and then increasing that price. And I feel like LTV is the key number, or even average orders, that people aren't focusing in on.
Exactly, yeah, and this is why we published LTV benchmarks in our subscription report, to get some sense and understanding what's happening in the market. Yeah, and that's actually the difference between running A/B testing for, let's say, a color of a button or some feature and a subscription. Because when you run an A/B testing for subscription, you really care about LTV, right? A long-term retention, things like refunds, turning on and off after renewal, cancellations, all of these things, and it takes time. So it's like, that's why you need some more powerful framework other than Firebase, for example. And that's why it's extremely hard to run correct A/B testing for subscriptions via Firebase.
Hey, one of the things, and I'm going to try to find that report and kind of highlight things. I know you guys have an analytics platform. Now, Vitaly, here's how I feel about analytics. I don't know what numbers to be looking at. So talk to me about the platform a little bit, and talk to me about the key KPIs that you're like, okay, I said key and KPIs, but the KPIs that you should be focused on. Like, which numbers should you really, really, really pay attention to? Don't give us all, but give us one or three that you're like, on a weekly basis, you should know these numbers.
I think what you should really care about is your acquisition quality, like number of new subscriptions and number of new trials, that's for sure. I think you should, on a weekly basis, you should track a retention rate, and that will be enough. Maybe a refund rate as well, but refund rate should stay in some, in some valve or something like that. So in some values, acceptable values. But in general, you should track a price for new trials, a price for a new subscription, and week over week subscription retention if you run weekly subscriptions, and that would be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
I love that.
we do have MRR charts and revenue charts, and they're quite important as well. But they're like a default chart. And if you're really into growing your business, you should definitely focus on acquisition and understanding your new subscribers day by day. So this is quite important.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I feel like people are not focusing on the one thing number I get is the trial activations, and it's a daily report. And so I love seeing that email, especially when it's still at 20% since we made the hard paywall change. But
yeah,
it shows you the value of this. Yeah, that's the one number I look at. It's just that. And then the other stuff seems to, hey, do you actually, on top of this, do you guys know, like, from trial to sub, do you guys give that number anywhere in the analytics?
Yeah, so you mean conversion from trial to activation to like a paid subscriber, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I try to break it down. Apple has it in their platform, but it goes trial activation, that's the 20%. And then 30 of those trial activations, 35 eventually become paying subscribers. So I know that number because I'm going to App Store Connect, but does Adapty show those numbers too easily for us to see?
Yeah, we do show this number. You can check it in a Paywall or A/B testing feature that we have. And soon, within 2 weeks, we're going to release a new feature. It's called Conversions. And in Conversions feature, you will have a super in-depth understanding of your historical data of conversions for each step in your sales funnel. So say we do track each conversion since your app launched, and we can show you day by day, so you can track whether you're like growing or not in terms of your conversion, let's say from free trial to a paid subscriber. And this will be launched very soon.
Nico says, I usually look into subscription retention and cohort in Adapty. So I'm thinking he's talking about this. So this is probably the week over week. If you have, I know some categories of apps do well with weekly subscriptions. So this is probably what he or she is paying attention to. Yeah, I like it. Hey, anything? So like, there's this. Oh man, I think I skipped it. I had a blog post here. Anything on what I really liked about this was, and I recommend you guys go and check it out. It's blog posts on their growing mobile and app, and I'll include it into the YouTube description. But one of the things that really stand out to me are the benchmarks, and we've kind of seen this, but you stayed in here like it's 3 to 5% from install to actual paying customer, right? And I think that those are such important metrics to keep in mind. And we're doing, like I said, for our app, 8%. So I think we're doing a lot better.
Yeah,
like, that's pretty for for others to pay attention to? Only 3 to
like an average value across all apps, across all categories. But you should find, I believe you should find some power users where you have not like 3-5% of conversion rate, but like, let's say 8 or 10 or 15 even for some users. And that's what I suggest focusing on when you launch an application. Just try to identify this segment of users who are willing to convert better and try to acquire this kind of users. I know it sounds obvious, but like it takes a lot of analysis and just diving deep into your analytics.
Yeah. Hey, I recommend you guys go checking out this report, but Vitaly, tell me if you don't want me to share this, but I think you'll be okay with
That's
me
totally
doing
fine.
this. But here, yeah. So here's the great report, state of in-app purchase for free. Just give them your email. And then here's the average subscription rates. So install the subscription conversion rates is what they see. And I love this note. Users prefer free trials up to 4 times more than paying immediately. And I keep saying this.
Yeah,
I have
that's right.
stats to support it. It's like, have free trials. I have a case study on this. And people tend to be like, it's free already. The soft paywalls. Guys, it's free already. What do you want me to put a trial for? But it's like, dude, most people, you said 80% on the onboarding process. So check out the report. Anything on this report that like highlight here? I like the average price too. Average subscription price. I'll focus in on the US side of things, but this is really interesting for me.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that if you take a look at this average price, you can see that 1 week price and 1 month price are pretty close to each other. And that's also a point where you optimize your subscriptions, is that if you want to optimize it in the short term, you should go down to shorter subscriptions. Let's say instead of selling 1 month, you should sell 1 week. And instead of selling 1 year, you should sell 3 months or 6 months or something like that. They can be crucial if you don't have investments at the beginning, so you can get some cash and invest it into user acquisition. So it's also a good hack here.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, you guys, if you haven't screenshot this, screenshot it. Go download the report. Actually, don't screenshot anything. Go download the freaking report because there's a lot more intel. But I love that, Vitaly. That's amazing insight. Because, yeah, like, and do you see like what have you seen from a churn rate for? I know in the blog post you kind of talk about churn rate for monthly subscribers by the month. Is that on a monthly plan or is that a weekly plan? What's a normal churn rate on a weekly user so we can run some numbers?
I guess it's like the average rate across all subscriptions. Churn rate in the consumer market is extremely high. So like if you just make all your math and calculations for your user acquisition based on 80% churn rate by the end of 3rd month, that can probably help you. If you have lower, well, that's fine, but 80% is some realistically negative scenario that you should keep in mind for sure.
I love this chart, guys. If I will link this up. Vitaly, whoops, sorry. Where are you? Are you there? I think you're a little bit frozen, but I think we can hear you. But I love this chart. So Noah asked, love the charts. What's the average trial to payment conversion rate? Okay, no problem. Vitaly's got an answer for you.
So
you've seen anywhere from 30
around
to 40%, but this is in
Yeah.
line with what we've seen, like 30 to 40%. And these are the numbers that we kind of see. I love that, our numbers back up what you're showing too.
Yeah, like this is they're volatile for sure. So they can vary from 30 to 40%. So like you just need to invest a little bit into users, into your app to get your real number. But you should have this benchmark as just, something to compare with.
Let's go back to this real quick because Adrian brings up an interesting point. So do you recommend, so it looks like the 1 month is pretty close to the weekly. Let's say that you're losing people on that sign up for the month in 3 months. And Adrian says, I'm seeing about 70 to 80% churn after 3 months for monthly subscribers. What do you do in that case?
Well,
let's put the number, like $6 a month. So now you're getting $18. Like, is there anything recommendations that you have if we have using these prices right here that we see? What would you recommend to that user? And let's say most people are signing up for the monthly right now.
A great question. So probably you can start selling 3 month subscriptions. They're highly underpriced for a price of a year. They can definitely help you. or you can try selling a weekly subscriptions, slightly lower in price, but maybe you can try selling one year subscription for the same price as 3 months, and given that maybe like 20-30% will convert to second year, you'll be a winner, but it will just wait longer to get your money back. That's probably what you should do.
Yeah, I like those stats. I agree with you. And I wanted to get a sense of, before I said anything, what you would say. I think, Adrian, when we see those changes, when we see those numbers, right? Obviously, you have to test, but I would try to push people into the yearly, whether it's giving them more trials for the yearly, less trials on the monthly, whatever you can do to de-incentivize the monthly option and make it on the yearly. That's the way that I would try to. That's the first A/B test I would start running too.
Yeah, usually like a yearly subscription is more a secure way to get your money back, but need to wait. But in terms of LTV, usually 1 week subscriptions is way more. If you have a
Really?
longer retention, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Like
All right. I
if
love
your
this.
product really works, you should try to sell shorter term subscriptions, because you don't need to do a discount in this case. Like when you sell 1 yearly subscription, you sell it with a discount. For example, when I love some application, let's say I subscribe to Strava, and I buy only yearly subscription because I get a huge discount in this application. So it's like, but I will pay monthly subscription, if they won't have a yearly option, I will pay monthly subscription. So that's the thing.
I like it. All right. I want to save a little bit for part 2. So let's end part 1 right now. And I want to get into a little bit more details in terms of promos, because I gotta tell you, Vitaly, I'm really pushing the promo feature, especially on iOS. I don't know how it works on Google, but I'm pushing that. So I want to get into some of that topic a little bit. But we start off part 2 every week with dad jokes. Now, I know you're like, I'm not sure if I have the dad jokes for you, but do you have a dad joke? And I would say in the audience or in the comments, if you have a dad joke and you want to compete with us, put your dad joke, and maybe Vitaly can use it as his particular dad joke. But do you have a dad joke for us that you want to share? Vitaly, you there?
Oops, you got lost for a second. Unfortunately, I don't have a dad joke for that I want to share. But you can take a, you can go ahead.
All right. So if you want to compete, where's Lars? Lars is not here anymore. If you want to compete with me, put your dad in there, and we'll let the viewers decide. All right, I'm gonna start off strong here because I got a kick out of this dad joke yesterday. All right, where is it? I already know it off the top of my head. All right, Vitaly, why did the fisherman order the halibut? So why did the fisherman order the halibut? Just for the halibut. There you go. All right. I like that one. That one's funny. Let's get into the Ricardo always got one. Are you want to say this, Vitaly, or you want me to say this?
Go ahead.
Okay. Ricardo, you and me again. Did you hear about the chameleon who couldn't change color? He had reptile dysfunction.
Nice.
Put Ricardo R if you thought his joke was better, and then put S, and then if he wins, Ricardo, I'll give you that premium app audit, and we'll sit down for an hour. So put S if you thought my halibut joke was better, or put chameleon, but put R if you thought Ricardo's joke was better. All right, let's take a look at the apps here. If you guys want to have your app audited, all you have to do is go to appmasters.com/audit, appmasters.com/audit. I said last week I was going to increase the price. We got like 4 or 5 people who signed up for the premium app audit. And so yesterday I was like, screw this. I don't have enough time. I apologize to do 1 hours with everybody. And so I did increase the price like I said I would, but we had an influx of premium app audits. But if you want to do it, if you're okay with waiting for the YouTube stuff, then, just sign up for the free stuff. All right, here, let's take a look at Kai's app first and foremost. Let me pull up what I needed help with. All right, so here's his app. Oh man, where's my emails? With me. So let me go here. on to the screenshots, and then I'll have you kick it off while I look for the email that he wants particular help on. So anything on the App Store storefront that you're like, hey, this is something glaring you see on that end? He says he just wants help with his subscription conversion rate. So that's why I picked out these apps. They all have subscription. Anything here that you want to mention?
Well, for now it looks fine. I mean, it's clear to what the app does. Can you scroll down?
Sure.
The interesting thing is which subscriptions he has here.
Yeah. I do this all the time too, Vitaly.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, okay. So probably what we see here is that probably he has either multi-tier subscriptions, right? Or he's doing some experimenting, because we see $9.99 and $13.99 for the same subscription tier. Probably he's been doing already some A/B testing. Probably $9.99 is a monthly subscription, I believe. And so the experiment meant to be like increasing the price for 40%, but I'm not sure, of course. Maybe there is another, maybe it's a legacy actually, because the Skybox name is a little bit different from scanning. So we have some assumptions here.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the app. But too much time. We spend to go long. I'm trying to keep it an hour now. All right, you walk it through, okay? I'll go side by side. You tell me what to do. So create high quality scan documents in seconds, confidently share with everyone. Jump right in.
Okay, jump in, portable scanner in your hands. Okay, the only thing I see here is portable. Then I would click continue. Okay, powerful just now. Okay, I would say the image is a little bit, small. So maybe I would add. I would, to be honest, I would remove this small text and I will just increase the image size 2 times. I think it's just easier to understand. Let's go then.
Agreed. And I feel like this is distracting me from reading. Like my eye goes to this rather than reading.
Yeah.
If things are moving here, so I agree with that.
Yeah, and it feels a little bit like a puzzle. So I need to read these small. Although illustrations are really good and it's clear for me, so I don't need this extra text. So I don't know this small text. Okay, the signature. Create PDF, send to anyone. Okay. Well, illustrations are really nice. So very clear, simple. Okay, here we go. It looks like this is a non-native application. I believe it's Flutter, but I'm not sure. But looks like it's Flutter. And there's kind of line reporting. Jumpstart success today. So I would say that probably you don't need privacy policy in terms of use. That's for sure. Like it's outdated App Store policy. That's the first thing. I believe so. I'm not sure that you can write start now. I know. Can you do this, or you should write subscribe?
Honestly, so one thing I do think that you need the terms of use and privacy policy, because the app that we have was rejected because they didn't see it.
Okay.
We have a long pricing page, and so they just didn't scroll far enough. So I was like, just keep scrolling. And then I don't know. I think for the start now, it really depends on the reviewer, is what I feel like. Like some reviewers are very anal and they'll look at everything. Some reviewers are like, this is good enough. It looks good. But I guess this app, you talked about weekly being a pretty good instance. And maybe that's why they're doing weekly. The thing that I think would be interesting, according to what you said too, was asking questions. So in the beginning, like, what are you most interested, or maybe at the last slide, be like, all right, we told you about all these features. What's got you most excited? Right? Was it the scanning? Was it the signature? Was it the export? Was it the editing? What of those 4 features that we just highlighted got you most excited? And then boom, they click that. Then maybe you show the pricing page. Okay, well, then you personalize it. Here's how we do better scanning, better, what was the last thing? Signatures, anything else, then the thing. So you really highlight those features, because right now you're just sort of providing all the features that you just talked about too.
What I would do is that, probably this application somehow urgently, right? So you need to scan docs or do something like that very quickly, right? Probably. And in this case, you should probably sell either a shorter possible subscription, like 1 week is totally fine, or you should sell a lifetime. So that's what I would do, is I would say, hey, you probably should activate a weekly subscription, or you go a year or lifetime. And probably selling lifetime isn't that bad idea, because you can sell lifetime for let's say a 3-year price with some discount, and probably it can work for this application.
I like it. Do you have any stats on, like, maybe potentially monthly? We kind of get a sense that it's about 3 months. Like, that's the lifetime value of a monthly subscriber. Do you have any data on, like, a weekly lifetime value of a weekly user? Is it like 8 weeks? Is it 12 weeks, like a monthly user?
To be honest, I don't remember this. We probably have something in our reporting, but it's quite similar. So it's quite similar. So we have these 3 periods of charges, and so it's quite the same.
All right, we'll double check there. Okay, well, I think that's good. So I'm gonna hit. You want me to do anything here?
Yeah, the interesting thing is that you said that probably the developer should add questionnaire before a Paywall, right? One more thing that can be done with the personalization is that you can ask user, hey, pick tools that you're interested in and how you're going to use it. And then you can leave only things that he picked on this Paywall and write something plus some things that you haven't picked. So you can do with the red color for red text, or do something like that. That can definitely work. So like you have some bonus in mind.
And do you come from like the? Do you come from the online space, Vitaly, at all? Like digital courses at all? Do you come from that space?
No. I mean, I'm actually a mathematician.
Idea.
Yeah, so like.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. What else were you saying?
Yeah, like the last thing is definitely don't try to sell one product until you're 100% sure that it works fine and it's the best option for you. Just try to sell at least 2-3 options until you get like maybe 50K a month or something like that, until you're really sure that you should invest into this product. But yeah, maybe let's go further, and we have some other. So the interesting thing is that on the App Store page, we've seen other subscription options. Let's try to find them in the app. Oh, I see ad. Okay. So it's hybrid.
Yeah, so
get unlimited access.
You're now.
Oh yeah, I see.
Now I see
and now we have different options. Okay.
I wonder if the yearly doesn't come with a trial. Let's see. So yearly doesn't come with a trial.
Yeah, I would probably do the opposite. So it's like, maybe for this kind of app, I wouldn't sell trial at all, just to maximize my revenue, because I don't know about the statistics for this app, but again, probably you need some document scanner really fast in one time, but maybe I'm wrong. So it's better to sell something quickly. I don't know what's the cancellation rate here would be for like cancel trials.
But I agree to what you said about like people have an immediate need. So I would almost go no trial on the weekly. That's fine. You want to be cheap about it, and just do it like maybe a 3 or 7 day trial. On the monthly, you can run some models that based off of like the best practices and the things that you'll find in the adaptee report to see if it makes sense. And if you get more, put the subscriptions, put the trial conversions and all that jazz into those numbers and see if you get a higher revenue perspective. But on that pricing page, I personally like to show options on a pricing page so that people can select. You don't want to show too many options, but do you have any data on like, should you show options? Like this app showed just the weekly option and that was it. And it was only till we came into the settings, we saw the yearly and the monthly. Should you be showing options? Or you should try to put just one option, sign up for the weekly. What do you think?
Well, I think you should, offer user a number of options to subscribe. Let's say at least 2. And a cool thing to experiment with is changing the default. That would definitely better. So we had a case when they had a featured product of 1 month, and then they switched to featured product to be 1 year, and they increased revenue for like 15% in 1 month. So it was really fast, just by changing this best value badge to another product.
I love that, and I hate it when app developers don't have it. Like they make me pick a pricing plan.
Yeah.
They have this continue, and then they're like, the continue doesn't do anything, dude. You have to pick a plan. I'm like, bro, like people are lazy. Just pick a default plan that you want them to be on, and if they hit continue, it's that default plan. Like don't let them pick that. So yeah, I love that. That's crazy. I love it. Okay. Whoa. Anything else on this? We gotta be good on time. So let's anything quick left on this app?
I think for now it's good. So that's what I would do. Let's go to the next one.
I love it. All right, let's do it. So I want to show up this slide real quick, and here's the retention rate for the weekly and the monthly that I kind of asked. So here's the week. You can see first period, and then 20%, and then 13. So the weekly ones seem to not. Yeah, I don't know. Unless
it's quite similar to. It's quite similar to monthly. Yeah.
Okay. Where's the monthly? Right here. So 31, 18. Okay. So yeah, roughly the third or fourth period. But then you get for the weekly one, you get the money faster, obviously. So I figure maybe weekly better than monthly then, really. If you think about it. If they're around the same price, like why not just do weekly then? All right. I think I'm losing Vitaly. Here.
I'm here.
All right. Okay. I can hear you, but you keep freezing the video. So you want to just keep smiling, Vitaly, because you never know where it's going to freeze. All right. Chris, he's on Facebook. I see your joke, and so if you can put me the punchline, you and I will play. And Ricardo, you better have a next joke, because Ricardo, what is up with you people? You didn't like that halibut joke? Jeez, Ricardo is winning. Ricardo, bro, you can't pick yourself. And then Rich, thank you, Rich. You're my only friend here. And Noah, you're my only friend here too. So Ricardo, you won that round. If you got another joke in you, let's play round 2. And then let's see what other people said. Adrian says, it's a good question. What's the differences, similarities between adaptee and revenue cap? Can I try this, Vitaly? Can I try?
Yeah. So the similarities is that we both provide subscription infrastructure, but we mostly, so we pitch our product as a product to help you really increase your subscription conversion rate and your subscription marketing, rather than revenue cat. They help you with integrating subscriptions. And I believe that integrating subscriptions and building this subscription infrastructure is now a commodity. And as a developer, you should really care about, not saving money on the infrastructure, but how you can really build an app business. And that's what we can help you with. That's the biggest difference.
I don't think, did they do paywall optimization, Revenue Cat?
I think no. At least I don't know about it.
That's a big difference. It's like, I kind of feel like Revenue Cat was more for like analytics, those numbers, and all that stuff. Whereas you guys do all of that with like paywall optimization and all that jazz. So it seems like one step further, in my opinion, but that's what I would have said.
I believe so.
Says, is weekly good pricing for a social networking app?
Probably, like, depending on your retention, so like just give it a try.
Yeah,
there's no, the thing is that there is no like definitely yes or no answer to any of this question. Like, dude, just give it a try. And if you have a social networking app, you probably have a lot of traffic you can experiment with, right? So you can run a test, wait for a couple of days, get data, make a decision, and that's it. That's really what you should do. So like, you probably should have some best guess. Check our report. We're going to publish more reports about the verticals, and like, just give it a try.
Yeah, I love this report, and I don't want to give away too much things, but some of the things that we talked about here are in this report, and then the key takeaways is amazing slide here too. So go download that, and I'm going to try to find the link and then put it into the YouTube description as well. Okay, Ricardo has a joke already for us. Next joke for Ricardo. I don't know why Marvel doesn't use the Hulk to advertise more. He's basically one big banner. I like that. Ricardo was good.
Good.
Ricardo
Like the
gave my
biggest one
best
on the
joke.
banner, right?
Yeah. Yeah, one banner. Okay, good one. Good one. I don't know if I'm going to win, but let's try it. I think you're going to win that thing. All right. Why? Enthusiasm. Okay. Why did the football coach go to the bank? To get his quarterback. All right. Put R. Ricardo's joke was better. Put S. My joke was better. There, one more time for you guys. I actually hit the wrong button. The last thing I want to hit, if you're okay with, I know you're okay with me sharing this, and I'm going to put the link to this report, but you got to check this out. It is amazing. It's beautiful. But the biggest thing is, we talked about this too, Vitaly, is the LTV. And I'm just going to focus in on the US because it is one of the key takeaways. US is still the biggest market. And so
Yeah.
this is interesting. Like the LTV of a weekly user is it's higher. It's higher. It's 3 months, 6 months. Look at this. It's these are higher. And so I am shocked by this chart, actually.
Yeah, like that's right. So we probably don't have super a lot of data about 3 month subscriptions, and we probably have some outliers. So let's say 3 months is, well, it probably should be closer to 1 year. But that's right that 1 week subscription is kind of a winner because it's one of the most popular one. And actually, I believe that 3 month subscription is underestimated. It's highly underestimated compared to 1 year subscription. So like, yeah.
I'm gonna post. Yeah, I love this report. This is such a good report. Now, I only did the iOS because, most of the subscriptions tend to happen on iOS, but you can check out the report, and I posted the link into the comments as well, and I'll put it into the YouTube descriptions. But if you're on Adaptee already, all you got to do is go to resources, and then the reports are right here for you to download. So this
Yeah,
is,
and we also have Android reports, so you can check it out. And we also publish soon game report. So that's a really interesting topic, but it's out of scope, I believe. But subscriptions are really growing into games, and it's a really interesting market.
Dude, you'll have to come back when that report comes out because I've
yeah.
really enjoyed. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Okay, let's get into one more question before we get to the app audit, and then we'll let Vitaly go. Well, Nico says, do customers of Adaptee see any impact on revenue from A/B tests?
Clearly, yes, for sure. And
yeah, what kind of question is that's a softball? Does he work for you? Who is this Nico guy? Come on, bro. What kind of softball question is that? Clearly, yes. A/B test. I'm going to answer that. I'm going to move forward because we don't have enough time for these softball questions. Yes, dude. A/B test. That's clearly it's going to work. That's why you built this entire platform. Come on, Nico. Come up with something better. All right. Simone says he wants feedback on this particular app. Meta nutrition. So he needs help. ASO, general audit of the app. Anything on the ASO front that you want to talk about? I don't know if you know.
Well, I'm not really a pro in ASO, but looks like he did some kind of optimization because of title, like meta meal planner, etc. So he did something for sure. I love text emphasized in the screenshots. Probably they also take part into ASO, but I don't know. I'm not a specialist into ASO. Let's scroll down. What's in the description?
Meal plans, grocery lists, recipes.
Well, looks like the ASO work has been done. So like it works.
Yeah. I think, ASO wise, here's what I feel like with ASO these days. For 93 ratings, like decent, but not like a whole lot right now. So I don't know what you're ranking for. The way I approach ASO these days is if I'm not running any paid acquisition, I'm relying on ASO, you have to find low competition keywords, and you have to find ones that at least have traffic scores of anywhere 20 to 40 range if you can find it, right? And then you're going to have to do some of these nifty campaigns that we talked about in the past to get you higher in the rankings. But I do feel like, Vitaly, you're a mathematician. Like it comes down to simple math. Like you have to drive downloads. You have to understand the funnel. And so I feel like with the ASO these days, you need an element of paid acquisition. You can't, and we talked to a few people, but they generally launched a long time ago. they're doing really phenomenally well with organics, but it takes a lot of work too. And maybe if you didn't start off early, like 2011, 2000, even 17, 16 range, then you're going to have to rely on being really creative, because the app space is super competitive now, that you can't just rely on ASO upon launch. You need certain other elements to help you push it up. Like I've tried, and now I'm of the mindset I'd rather buy an app with good ASO rather than build an app and try to make a good ASO. I'm of that mindset
totally
now.
agree. Totally agree, right? But ASO analyzing tools are really helpful if you want to launch an app business. So like you should find some keywords that are competitive and where there is some traffic, but not a lot of traffic, because large companies can, jump into this area and just have a huge marketing budget, so they can buy a lot of traffic via ASA, and you'll just get lost. So this is like an art to choosing the right keywords for launching your next step.
Yeah, agreed. Title, subtitle, super important still, but you're going to have to find the right keywords and really play around with it. It takes a lot of work, right? So I think on this page, what I will jump in is this button seems kind of small, but okay. Like I want a reminder. I think your screenshots do a pretty good job of selling your product, but okay. I don't think this is that bad. I don't have enough data to kind of make that. All right. What do you want to do, Sally?
All right, let's click somewhere. Just pick any.
Oh, game muscle. I'm
a
male.
Great. So.
You want to share your info with me or no?
28.
All right. Young guy. I'll tell you. You want me going centimeters or you want me going feet?
Oh, centimeters is definitely better. 180.
Okay. I don't even know what that is.
And 70. Hopefully nobody will target me based on these parameters.
How many kilograms do you want to gain? Let's just put 0.5 for now. Okay. And then total weight. Okay. How much you want to gain? What would you say, 70?
200. 200.
200. You look like tiny. Which one? I think you're somewhere around.
Pick any.
Okay, let's go 15%. And then choose your body fat. I probably am. I'll pick myself. I'm probably somewhere around there. I'm an athlete, bro.
Athlete.
Come on. Yeah, vegan. Choose your food preferences. Just put vegan, bro. Like, don't show me protein. Tofu, soy meat, and then carbs, all of it. I like all of it.
That's actually good onboarding. This is how you should design your onboarding, because it makes people engage with your product. So that's really one is good. So you start thinking about this, so you go in deeper and deeper into the app. Although it's a little bit annoying, but the one who came through this will be your power users. All right.
I don't like this. If you don't need this info, don't ask me for it yet. Show me the pricing page. I was expecting to see the pricing page. I didn't see the paywall. I would have loved to see the paywall, but all right. Fine. I don't know what the numbers are, but if there's a drop off there, consider moving that after the paywall.
For sure, yeah.
And where's the paywall? There's no paywall. Oh, there he is. Okay, there. He's in the comments. All right.
Okay, this paywall seems to be professionally designed, like timer, a lot of things here.
Pretty
I'm not
cheap
sure if you can write. I'm not sure if you can write something like you pay for 12 months, but the monthly price is $2.49. I'm not sure that you can do this, if it breaks Apple rule or not, but well, anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad because we've done it in the past. It doesn't make a huge difference in terms of conversions, actually.
Okay.
But it looks like you've been following my channel. I think one thing you should definitely do. I don't like the visual. I don't like visually. It's too heavy on the plans and not enough on like the benefits. Look at the weight here. Right. I feel like, you're like, hey, pay me. And then, oh, here's what we do. This is our benefits. It's like, dude, come on, like fix the two. And then I prefer personally, this is just aesthetics speaking, is like having them having the plans horizontally so I can easily compare, because my eye can easily compare left to right versus up and down. And then he doesn't have trials. Like, hello, Vitalik, we
Mm-hmm.
told you earlier, trials convert better. You don't have trials.
Mm-hmm.
Add a trial, and then think about like, yeah, even increasing the price. I think it's pretty low in there.
But I love the layout, So the layout is not 1 month, 3 months, and 12 months, but the layout is 3 months, 1 month, and 12 months. So like 3
Mhm.
months is a preferable option, as we see. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like it. We did have trials, but they were actually converting less for us. Okay. Well, the thing I would do is, I
Okay.
don't know if you had everything, but I think what I would do is mix up trials then. Like, give trials on certain plans, don't give trials on certain plans. I don't know if you tried that test, but I would still think that trials improve conversions. So I wonder if something else is happening because of that versus no trials. But I could be dead wrong. Again, been shocked by other things.
I would put
Anything else you
limit
want to
time
say on
offer
that?
to be not 24 hours, but to be like 10 minutes. So like
Agreed. Agreed. I'm just looking for that. Okay. All right. Cool. Vegan breakfast burritos. Yes, sir. Okay. Wait, you show me how to make this? Oh yeah, you do. Wait. Oh no. How can I make this? Oh. Oh, here we go. Cool. Nice.
So it seems
That's
like
cool.
this is a pretty well built application. And the interesting
Mhm.
thing is that how you then upsell to users. So say
Mhm.
if you see freemium users and they do use your app, how you then upsell to them, how do you sell offers? What do you do with this?
Yep.
If Skujiniju can answer this, that would be nice.
See, and then I'm trying to get his things. What's so interesting? I don't know what you said interesting about stuff. Or okay, and I always like to see the second time user experience of an app. Okay. Super Scan Kai, you got to add some stuff to the homepage. Let's see the second open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we just limit their features. That's what he says.
Okay.
Version.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm not seeing is any locked stuff. So like one of the things that would be interesting, even the hard sell that you talked about, Vitaly, that might be interesting for this app because it's sort of
Mm-hmm.
niche, right? In that way. So that might be an interesting test to do, Simone, is a hard sell versus a soft sell, what you're doing. One of
For
the things I
sure.
don't see is like upgrade to the pro, but like what is the thing that's limiting me from what's locking me? I don't feel like anything is what is it that you're locking for me that I couldn't get from the free version yet? So okay, I guess we see some here now. Grocery,
Mm-hmm.
recipe. Here's
So it
where
looks like
like I think
yes. So
yeah,
so it looks like for the first 24 hours, the app has all features, right?
it doesn't look like it. I have to upgrade to pro to access the grocery stuff.
The grocery stuff.
And
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I have access to the recipes and then progress. So I have access to all of it, but it looks like grocery and pantry. But then what I was going to say was if you're locking that right now, and I don't know what you're locking all the time, but it says here, if you regenerate the plan, you only have 5 regenerations, but you can only lock 1 recipe per day. Okay, that's good. Then you're being super aggressive. But I think if you ask, like, back to, I'm really, Rich said it, and what you said, Vitaly, too. Like, one of the big takeaway for me is like asking questions during the onboarding, because I think you can get some insights, and you kind of do this already, Simone. But like one of the things that I would think about doing is, what are you here for? What like what really excites you? Because then you could sort of figure out like what to lock and what's not to lock too, in my opinion. Because I don't know if grocery and pantry is that interesting to me. If I'm a meal planner, I really want to know recipes and tracking my calories, right? I have to think that's
Yeah.
my mindset personally. But like grocery, okay, cool. But I came in searching for meal planner, and all your ASO talks about meal plan and recipes. And now like the grocery feature is the premium one. Like, okay, like make it hard for the core thing that I want out of you, not like the bonus things too that Vitaly was talking about. So these are like the grocery stuff is bonus. It's not the real reason why I want to pay you. That makes sense.
The interesting thing is that probably you should also add an image to your Paywall and personalize it, because you collect a lot of data from first 2 questions. And you can change image based on what's the goal for using this app, like losing weight or something like that. So, for example, Flow application, that's a women health application. It does it really well. So you can take it as an example.
Yeah, I love it. Cool. And then Samuel's got some good feedback in there too. So I think you got enough there. All right, Vitaly, what I was going to say about the bonus, I really like that idea, because the digital course people, you're like, you buy, here's all the core things, and then they always add on bonus, limited time offer, bonus. So I love that mentality that you kind of said with the Super Scan app for Kai. I love that idea, because people feel like they're getting something I think I can give away now, but I've been holding close my vest. So when let me share my screen again. When one of the apps we worked with, we had these things in here, and the only change we made when we A/B tested was, like for this, I just put this as free. I added the word free, and I added the word free to your bonus idea. I added the word free to these two, like last 2 bullet points, and we saw an 11%. Not huge, but 11% increase in conversions just by adding the word free or bonus to these last 2
Wow, that's a lot.
things. Yeah. So simple, like no coding, no pricing change, no nothing, just adding the word free, like to Vitaly said, of a bonus, increase the conversions from by 11. So I can nerd out about this stuff. Like this is stuff that I absolutely love. So you're gonna have to come back, man. It was a pleasure. The website is adapty.io. Look, if you do nothing after this, go freaking check out the report. It's an amazing report. I covered a lot of it, but there's a lot more that I didn't cover because I don't want to give it all away. Vitaly put a lot of work and energy into this report. So go download that. And then if you're interested in using them, we use it for one of our apps. I loved it. And I was like, hey, we need to change this. The guy we're working with, our product guy, was like, no problem. He's in Adapty. He's like, done. I was like, what? So that's the type of like fast iteration that you can get when you're using a platform with Adapty. And also, obviously analytics, super important too. But I just love being able to optimize our paywall just really quick without needing a new build. Adapty.io. Vitaly, if the audience wants to connect with you in any other way, do you want to send them anywhere else?
You can write to my email for sure. That wouldn't be a problem. So yeah, and the interesting thing about this report is that I built it myself, except design. So yeah, I did all the calculations, but then I asked our designer to make a presentation out of it. So yeah, we put a lot of work into it.
It is a lot of great data in there, and what I loved about it too was, these are the numbers that I'm seeing. So it's backing up my numbers too, because my numbers are just my numbers, right? I'm not saying they're the truth. And then secondly, like a lot of interesting stuff about the 3-month, about the weekly, about the lifetime value stuff. So go check it out. Once again, it is adapty.io. And next week, guys, we're coming back. I'm going to be actually away for the next couple of weeks. We're going to be in Fiji, but we got some great guests. We got Alan Waller, who's going to be next Friday. We're doing something fun. So stay tuned for that. All I can say is he's going to show you an app that they actually bought, and they want to turn it from a 6-figure to a 7-figure business, and all the things that they think about, because that's their entire model, right? Buying 6-figure apps and then turning them into 7-figure apps. So he's going to show you how to do exactly that, their playbook. And if you join any of the live streams with Alan, he delivers. And so we got something fun in store for you. I can't wait for you guys to check it out. And then the following week, we're going to be talking Sid. We invited him back from AppBroda to talk all about AdMob and ECPM, help you guys with that as well. But once again, it is adapty.com, adapty.io, adapty.io. Vitaly, thank you so much for coming on doing this, my friend.
Thank you, Jussi, for having me here.
Awesome. All right, guys, tune in next week. I might jump on. It's like 4 a.m., but I might jump on, but you might see me there, but it'll be fun. All right. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys. Bye.